You are live.
Meeting of the police tow review board to order. First, we will go ahead and approve the minutes. The meeting minutes from March 8th and the hearing on May 3rd have been distributed.
Do you have audio?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The meeting changes to either of those minutes.
Everything unmuted, huh?
Let me see.
Okay.
It appears that, Madam Chair, it appears Mr. Turgo might be having problems with his audio. I think that's
I don't have any audio.
what you may be hearing.
Okay. Could we, okay. Okay, if you're not speaking, if you could please just put yourself on mute. That way we can not have a lot of feedback. Okay, so I don't hear that there's any changes to or corrections to the minutes. So first, can I have a motion to approve the March 8th meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, I did not hear, and I'm sorry, that could be my audio. I didn't hear anyone else approve the.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then I would like a motion to approve the minutes from the hearing on May 3rd.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approving those minutes, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Okay. First, I would like to take a moment to introduce our two new members. We have James Drake and Richard Decatur. Welcome. They've both been appointed by the mayor and approved by council. So welcome to the committee, and thank you guys for serving. Next, I just wanted to take a moment to open the floor if anyone wanted to make any comments on the recent passage of Greg Prunty. My understanding is that he was a longtime board member and he passed away recently. So I'd like to open the floor if anyone wants to make any comments at this time.
I'd like to make a few comments.
Sure, go ahead.
When I served on the police department and we needed a tow truck or we needed a road cleared, we called Greg. Greg was always there on the spot. He's very supportive of the Akron Police Department, Akron police officers. He's sorely going to be missed, and I know he was favorable to a lot of officers, and a lot of officers respected him and looked up to him and appreciated the good work that he did.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to make any comments at this time? James, I see you're on mute. I'm sorry if you're trying to speak.
There we go. How about now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, great. Yes, with working with the Highway Patrol, we had a very good working relationship with Greg. He was a good friend of mine with fellow employees. He was always there, and like Richard said, never had an issue with Greg. Was always on time, very courteous. I did a lot of work personally with Greg, and he was sorely be missed.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, not seeing or hearing anyone. I will close the floor on that matter. We will go ahead and move into the old business. First matter is there was a $15 fee charged by the clerk of courts, and this matter was discussed to determine whether the board will recommend that city council strike that fee from the code of ordinances. Does anyone want to make any comments about this item?
I'm the one that brought up getting rid of the $15 fee, and I talked to Mr. Kamer. I don't see him on here right now about possibly getting rid of the fee. because with the written legislation, it doesn't say anything about victims of stolen vehicles or other kind of unique circumstances of waiving the fee. I've taken it upon myself to waive it for victims if their vehicle was stolen, even though it's kind of against the legislation, but I don't feel it's fair to somebody who has their vehicle stolen, has to come to the police department to get it released and has to pay a fee to get their stolen vehicle back. So I would, and there's other instances where the $15 fee, a lot of people that come and get their vehicle releases don't have the money to even get it released a lot of times. And a lot of the vehicles that are towed are accompanied by a citation by the police department or a tag, a parking tag, and they already have to pay the city money. And I know it was city council that posted the legislation, but anytime someone comes into the police department has to pay the fee, of course, they blame the police department for charging them. And it's really not us, it's the city. So I recommended possibly waiving the fee or rewriting legislation to at least exclude victims for the charge.
Yeah, I understand that Mr. Kamer also had some thoughts on this as well. Does any of their members want to offer any comments on this at this time? We can either move forward in making a recommendation if that's what the board decides, or we could defer this item till the next meeting if Mr. Kamer would be present at that meeting and we could hear from him as well.
Motion to defer.
Second.
Okay, we will keep this, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, we will keep this item on the old business until the next meeting.
Rebecca,
Yes,
I want to point out there were actually two different links. So I was on the different link for this meeting. I don't know if Mr. Kamer's on that one or not. I don't remember seeing him, but that might be an issue.
okay, well,
And I think Terry Brink was on the other one too.
okay. Well, at this time, we'll just proceed and then we'll make sure that they are not two links. If there are two links being sent out for each meeting, that must have been some sort of, maybe miscommunication. So we'll proceed on this link rather than jumping out to go get anybody that might be in that one. And then we will follow up with them. The next matter on, yes, Ms. Walsh.
Just a quick question, and you went on earlier to say that two people were appointed, but I don't really know who those people are. So being the new person, I would just like to know who the new people are and meet them. I don't
Okay,
know if this is the appropriate time or not, but.
why don't we finish going through the business and then we can have Mr. Drake and Mr. Decatur kind of just tell us a little bit about them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, the next item was the $25 processing fee that Team Towing was charging. This was held over from the March meeting, and does anyone have an update on this matter by any chance?
Last I followed up with the insurance adjuster from, I believe, Geico. I believe his name was Alfredo, who was the one that said that one of his customers was charged a $25 fee. I told him that Team Towing was going to reimburse that money. So if he could get a hold of his client, Team Towing would reimburse him. And that's as far as I went. I don't know if he insurance agent got a hold of him or the final, I don't know how that ended.
Okay, and I don't see a representative from Team Towing on the meeting. So I'm going to recommend that we hold this on the old business for one more meeting, and hopefully we can get an update next meeting and possibly remove it from the agenda at that time. Can I get a motion to defer this item to the next meeting?
Motion to defer.
Okay, I heard two motions, so I'll assume that one of those are a second. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Aye.
thank you. That item will be held over till the next meeting. And the last order of old business was the hearing that was held regarding the response time and wait time by Johnny's. So I will just give a brief update of my understanding was that there was a hearing that was held on May 3rd. The board heard from APD and representatives from Johnny's, who are both present here today. The board found that there were 15 violations that were committed, and the board imposed a $500 fine with a 0-day suspension. Notice of the board's findings were sent to Johnny's on May 4th of 2022. Payment was received on May 17th and deposited into APD's account, and there has been no appeal. Is that an accurate representation of what occurred? For those that were present? Okay, I'm seeing nods, yes. So I believe that this item can be removed from the agenda. I'd make a recommendation that the item be removed. Is there a motion?
Motion to remove item agenda item.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so this item will be removed from the agenda. Okay, moving on to our new business. My understanding is there's going to be an update on the annual inspections of the designated tow yards. And that report is going to be from APD. Is someone here to speak about that?
Yeah, I had Officer Sanzone in our traffic division go to all the tow yards and do a tow truck and impoundment lot inspection. Stan's passed on 3/17 of this year. Johnny's passed on 3/16. Team Towing passed on 3/15. Bowers Towing passed on 3/14. Keeney's Towing passed on 3/11, and Greg's Towing 3/21, and Miller's also on 3/21. So everyone's up to date on all the requirements.
Okay, that's good to hear. I believe that we do, and John York, you might be able to assist me here. Do we need to make that recommendation, or do we need to report that to City Council?
I'll have to look at the code, and I can follow up with Sergeant Lipa. I think they may have been provided, if I recall, back when these inspections were done, I think copies of the inspection reports might have been provided to council already. But I can certainly check on that.
Okay. While I'm going to recommend that we move this matter onto our old business just for the next meeting, just to make sure that we followed up with council if we need to, whether that needs to happen from APD or from our board. Is there any motion to keep this matter on the agenda for our next meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, that will be kept on our agenda for the next meeting. Do we have an update on the service regarding Johnny's Towing following the hearing?
There's no new complaints to note reference Johnny's Towing, and if there would be an issue that arise, I would call Jay and ask for some kind of clarification. But since Johnny's has been doing great, so no complaints.
Great, thank you for that update. Okay, that is all the business that we have. The next meeting will take place September 13th, 2022 at 1:30. So now, why don't we go ahead and have Mr. Decatur and Mr. Drake, if you could just give us a brief background about yourselves. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead. Mr. Decatur, you're on mute. I can see you're trying to speak.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I recently retired from the Akron Police Department. I was an officer for Akron for 30 years. I retired as a lieutenant in the Traffic Bureau. So we worked pretty closely with all the tow companies and Sergeant Lipa at the information desk, and also Terry Brink, who handles the she takes care of getting rid of all the towed vehicles that are not claimed by the owners. So I'm somewhat familiar with the tow review committee. This being my first meeting as a civilian, I'm just kind of listening in and trying to figure out what my part in this committee is going to be.
I'm sorry, I think I'm kind of freezing a little bit here, but thank you very much and welcome. Mr. Drake, go ahead.
Okay, and just like Richard, I'm also civilian here, just trying to fill things out and see where my position is. Of course, I was with the Highway Patrol. I got hired with the Highway Patrol back in 1987, and I retired in 2017. So I was with the organization for 30 years. Of course, it's a statewide organization, so my post varied around the state of Ohio. I was Akron, Cleveland, Worcester, Columbus. I was a little bit everywhere in the state. Held different positions with the organization, and pretty much right now I'm enjoying retirement. It's a good thing.
Great, thank you and welcome as well.
Um,
Is there any other, go ahead, Mr. Lash.
Here, as a board member, I just wanted to extend welcome to both new members.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Madam
yes.
Chair,
Go ahead.
I had a chance to review the code regarding the report on inspections, so maybe it would be worthwhile circling back on that one item. The code says that the board shall submit its findings to City Council, so it might be worth a motion, to advise City Council that all the tow yards are in compliance with the ordinance.
Okay, thank you. That was what I thought. So we'll go ahead, Mr. McCosey.
So moved.
Okay, second. All right, great. All in favor of reporting the findings to the City Council, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we will report that to City Council that all towing companies are in compliance currently. Is there anything else that's coming before the board? If not, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you back in September.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Good then.